my friend Ceremony, whom I met in Chiang Mai, Thailand. She reached out and she wrote, I'm writing my sales page bio for the first time, but an entire trilogy novel series wants to come out. Would love your advice and tips on how to produce a compelling sales page bio without having to write a book in order to get to the bottom line and significance. Great question, Sarah. Now, I'm sure you've had a look at Google and a million and one things about copywriting and what to include on a sales page. So I'm not going to go into that, but I do think one of the most important things that you really have to keep in mind here is that people don't actually want to hear about you. I know it seems crazy because this is a bio and like people are going to be depending on you and they're looking to you for advice and they need you. But this is super simple psychology. People don't actually care. It's not that they don't care, but they're really not responding to copy that is about you. You could write your whole bio and it could be so compelling and it could have everything to do with what you're doing, and people just don't register that stuff. We are egotistical beings, and what we'll respond to, what will stand out to us is what we relate to. And the way that you get to people is by describing them to them. So the words that you use here are really important. You have to make sure that they're resonant. You're using the words that they would use, like exactly how they would describe themselves is how you have to look at this. So essentially, the purpose of the copy that you're putting together is to influence someone to make a decision, right? This is a course that is offering a solution to a problem that they're having. And the only way you're going to get through to these people, driving this point home here, is by really describing the situation that they're in. So you're using their words, you're describing how they feel. And so I'd love to share this formula with you. I think this is super helpful because it keeps everything succinct. So we don't want to trail on and we don't want to provide too many examples. We don't want to talk about ourselves. So stick to this formula. My course helps target audience learn how to result so they can benefit. So essentially, this breaks down to how you help this type of group, what you teach, what the result is, what you're teaching them, and then what they gain, what the benefit is from all this. Super simple. I guess an example would be my course helps people who want to step up and be heard, learn how to develop stronger self-esteem so they can put themselves out there and live their highest truths. Something like that. I think that probably resonates with your audience. Something like this. So now that you have this formula, you understand who the target audience is and what you're teaching and what the benefit is, the result that they're getting is. Now let's flip this and use you as the subject here. So tell an experience of how you went through this sort of situation, right? So let's say when I was 25, I decided that I really wanted to do more public speaking, and it's not something I ever felt comfortable doing because I was really shy and I grew up in an environment where I just wasn't encouraged to speak up. But I took a leap of faith and I learned how to do breathing exercises and I did visualizations that helped me to calm my nerves and gain more confidence. And then I was able to get involved with a community that had open mic nights. And I was able to step up in front of a crowd that I felt comfortable with, and I took baby steps and I shared stories, and I felt this exhilarating feeling of accomplishment and realized this is something I love and I feel really good about. And now I feel like I have a voice and that people want to hear what I have to say. Something like that. That's an example that I just conjured up in my mind for you. If you can come up with something like that, that's sort of formulaic in that you're speaking to the right target audience and you're explaining a situation that you went through where you gained a benefit. And that example was a shout out to community that we hung out with in Chiang Mai. That's just an example. And maybe you want to come up with a few different examples like that, where you use that formula to explain how you've been through those situations. So I know that doesn't explain all of the reasons why you're so perfect for this. And I'm sure you have a calling to this, and I'm sure there's so many things that you want to share here. But I have to drive this home. It's not about you. As much as we want to provide your background and as much as we want to share all about why you're so great, I really truly believe that people are just hearing what they want to hear, and what they want to hear is that you understand who they are, and that you know what they're going through, and that you're going to help them get that solution. Just speak their language, just share what you know, what you've been through. I know you have this experience, and just keep it super short and sweet. My other advice would be, sometimes it's hard for us to do this and speak about ourselves. If you have that problem, if you're struggling to figure out what words to use, how to describe yourself, I would reach out to 5 friends and use that same formula and ask them, why do you think I would be good at helping these types of people to learn how to do this sort of thing so that they can do this sort of thing. Use that formula and see what your friends have to say. I hope that's helpful. This is my first little piece of advice with Hey JGB, and I implore you, please send me your questions, anything related to my brand topics. Check out my website, makingjgb.com. I am here to help. Let me know what questions you have, and I'm really excited about doing more of these. So I will see you on the interwebs. Thank you for tuning in. À bientôt. Until next time, that's it from me. I'm JGB.